All right, guys, today I'm going to be going over 10 different whiskeys that you should start collecting or that you should have been collecting. Now, these whiskeys have already begun to appreciate in value, so the longer you wait, the more expensive these bottles will become and will definitely become more difficult to find. So whether you're just into collecting bottles, drinking and collecting, bunkering away a few of your favorites, or stashing some bottles away to use as trade bait down the road, these 10 whiskeys are the ones you may want to start with. But first, let's go. So bottle number one is a Midwinter Night's Dram from High West Distillery. This is a blend of straight rye whiskeys that are finished in French oak port barrels. So the company uses different acts and scenes as it releases its batches. So it started out with Act 1, Scene 1, and has gone all the way up to Act 9. The company did announce that they are releasing their Encore 10-year anniversary edition, which will be released later on this year. You can find some of these earlier batches in different markets from $250 to $350. Bottle number two is the Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series. So one of the things that makes this Discovery Series so unique is each one of the releases uses a blend of different mash bills. As of late, the company actually started to use different oak bills, which basically puts different types of staves inside the barrel to give it a different profile. So with the Discovery Series being one of the most anticipated releases from Bardstown Bourbon Company, some of the earlier batches can be found anywhere between $250 to $300 in different markets, with some of their high-end experimental finishes like the Chateau de la Baude being upwards of $1,000. So bottle number three is the Redwood Empire releases. I actually don't own any of the Redwood Empire releases. I wish I did, but I'm unable to find them in my market. So some of the older age-stated Redwood Empire releases definitely fly under the radar, and what a lot of people don't know is they actually use older MGP stock. So some of their older age-stated releases have really started to skyrocket in value. Their 12-year Haystack Needle single barrel goes for $200 to $250. Their 14-year double barrel version goes for anywhere between $250 to $300, and their 14-year single barrel Haystack Needle goes for $400 to $450. So bottle number four is Stag Junior. So Buffalo Trace has released 17 different releases of the Stag Junior, and I'm going to be honest, some of those releases can actually hang in there with its much bigger and older version of George T. Stagg. So some of the earlier batches of Stag Junior have all but disappeared. A lot of these batches did land in people's top 10 whiskeys of the year. As far as pricing in different markets in the secondary market, you look at batch 17, which is latest release, that goes anywhere between $275 to $300. Batch 12 goes anywhere between $400 to $450, and some of the earlier batches of Stag Junior go for anywhere between $475 to $550. Coming in at number 5 is Four Gate Whiskey Company. Four Gate has released 24 different batches since coming onto the scene. One of the things that makes them so unique is the different finishings that they use along with their whiskeys. So some of their whiskeys range from Tennessee Bourbon, Tennessee Whiskey, Indiana Rye, Indiana Bourbon, and I will add that they do know how to pick some premium MGP barrels. So while Four Gate isn't sold in every market, they do sell their batches online at several different websites, but they do go rather quickly due to the limited stock. As far as pricing, you can find some of the older batches on the secondary market, some of them ranging anywhere between $400 to $500. Coming in at number 6 is the Remus Repeal Reserve batches. These Remus Repeal batches are one of the highly anticipated releases each and every year. And again, one of the things that makes them very unique is each one of these blends is different. So one of the things that makes these so damn good is not only the fact that they know how to blend, but it's the fact that they use a wide-ranged age of MGP bourbon. So batch 5 was a release that landed on a lot of people's top 10 whiskeys of the year. I know it landed on mine. Batch 6 is released now, and that is a blend of high rye bourbons aged 8 to 14 years. Some of the earlier batches of Remus are fetching anywhere between $200 to $225, while batch 5 is fetching anywhere between $150 to $175. Coming in at number 7 is Heaven Hill's own Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Going back to 2013, Heaven Hill decided to create 3 different batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof per year. So one of the things that makes these batches so unique is the wide range of proof points per batch, ranging anywhere from the low 110s all the way up to the hazmat version, the 140.2 proof. But one of the things that has stayed consistent is that 12-year age statement on each and every bottle. So if you're ever in the market and you see an Elijah Craig barrel proof there at retail price, which is anywhere between $70 to $80, that is a non-negotiable buy. So some of the earlier versions of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs range anywhere between $300 to $500, while the hazmat version fetches anywhere between $900 to $1,000. Coming into number 8 is Old Carter Whiskey Company. So Mark and Sherry Carter, owners of Old Carter Whiskey Company, began their endeavors in the wine industry before taking their plunge into the whiskey market. So going back to 2018, when the Carters released their Bourbon Batch 1, they have since released numerous amounts of ryes, American whiskeys, Kentucky straight whiskeys, and then state select single barrels. So as many of us know, the Carters have a very keen sense of picking out some fantastic single barrels, but not only that, their ability to blend these barrels together to produce such amazing batches of whiskey. So when we talk about whiskeys that continue to appreciate in value, there's no turning away from Old Carter Whiskey Company. Some of their most recent bourbon batches are on the markets right now for $270 to $300. Their select state single barrels are going for $400 to $450. And their Bourbon Batch 1 is on the market right now for $700 to $750. So coming in at number 9 is Heaven Hill's own Old Fitzgerald. So in 1999, Heaven Hill purchased Old Fitzgerald and began distilling at their Bernheim Distillery in Kentucky. So each spring and fall, a new release drops into the market, each of them being bottled in bond, coming in at 100 proof, and being age stated anywhere between 8 to 17 years. So if you come across one of these Old Fitz decanters at retail price, I highly recommend you grab it. Not only is it a fantastic pour, but it also has a market value of 3 to 4 times what you'll purchase it for. So right now you can find the 9-year for about $450 to $475. You can find the 15-year for $575 to $600. And you can find the newly released 17-year at $850 to $900. So coming in at number 10 is the Jack Daniel's Special Release Series. So in 2018, Jack Daniel's released its special release Heritage Barrel, which celebrated the early success of the Jack Daniel's Distillery. Followed up in 2020 by the special release Barrel Proof Rye, and 2021, the special release Coy Hill High Proof. And then a little earlier on this year, they released the small batch Coy Hill High Proof. So these releases by Jack Daniel's really showed us what their true craftsmanship was all about. Especially the Coy Hill High Proof, which the proof ranges went all the way up to the high 140s. So right now, the market value on the Heritage Barrel and the Barrel Proof Rye is anywhere between $400 to $425, while the Coy Hill ranges anywhere between $425 and $550 for the higher proofed releases. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews on my top 10 whiskeys to start collecting, or that you should have been collecting. Again, a lot of these whiskeys are continuing to appreciate in value and are becoming scarce on the secondary market. So as I said, whether you're a whiskey collector, and a drinker, if you like to bunker some bottles away, or if you already have some of these bottles that you've set to the side for trade bait, each one of these whiskeys is not only delicious, but will make great trade bait in the near future. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about any whiskeys that I may have missed on this top 10 list, or any bottles that you have stashed away for a rainy day, something that you have stockpiled a lot of to let go of or trade for, a little bit down the road. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts on some of those whiskeys. So if you guys are looking for more reviews like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You can also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. And until next time, guys, stay dusty.